Hello and welcome to 5 p.m. It's essential that we talk a little bit about the story of the IPL. The story of the IPL, essentially in the context of what happened yesterday. Rajasthan Royals getting sold for 1.63 billion. Rajasthan Royals from a valuation of 67 million, a 24x increase, and it gets sold for 1.63 billion to Carl Somani and the US based consortium. So that's a 24-fold increase in the Rajasthan Royals from a valuation of close to 370 crores. It's now 15,150 crores. So 370 crores to 15,150 crores. This journey has been traveled in a period of 18 years. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Now comes the Royal Challengers of Bengaluru. Royal Challengers of Bengaluru total valuation, including the BCCI 5%, close to 1.9 billion. Aditya Birla Group, Satyen Gajwani, and the David Blitzer and the rest, that consortium, they get RCB. Unbelievable pricing. From 410 crores to it is being sold for 18,500 crores. Upside of about 26 times. Upside of 26 times for RCB. So the kind of valuations that we are talking about in the IPL, Rajasthan Royals getting sold for 24x, the Royal Challengers of Bengaluru getting sold for 26x. Now the question that comes here is, why is it that these kind of staggering valuations are taking place? That in 18 years, a valuation has grown by 24 times or it has grown by 26 times. The point that you also need to know is these valuations are not something that can't be matched or can't be topped. Having spoken to industry insiders, I can tell you that the figure that I am getting as far as IPL valuations are concerned is they can touch 4 billion for some of these teams. Yes, $4 billion in some of these teams in about 5, 7, 8 years from now. So you are talking about a 50-fold increase in a period of say 23, 24 years. Even a team like the Lucknow Super Giants, Sanjeev Goenka bought the team at 7,000 crores. And when he bought the team at 7,000 crores, a lot of people said, this is overpriced, inflated, money. How is it that you can justify a price tag of 7,000 crores? Within 4 years, the team now has a brand value of close to 12 and a half, 12,000 plus crores. So in a matter of 4 years, Sanjeev Goenka has literally doubled his investment. A team like the Mumbai Indians, it was bought for 400 crores. Today will be valued at anywhere between 18,000 to 19,000 crores. The same will be applicable for the Kolkata Knight Riders. Why is it that the IPL is fetching these kind of monies? First and foremost, the IPL is a closed league. When I say closed league, the BCCI cannot expand the competition beyond, say, 10 teams. At least in the near future, it is not possible, it is not plausible, and it is not going to work. Because it is a competition which is played between 10 teams, which is only paid between 10 teams, it remains an exclusive club. However much you want expansion, it will not get expansion or expanded beyond a point. It will remain, firstly, it was 8 teams, then it became 10 teams. Chances are it will remain 10 teams for the foreseeable future. Because it is restricted to 10 teams, it has become an absolute go-to property for a series of other brands in India. Any business house worth its salt or venture capital fund or international companies, you would want to own a piece of an IPL team. The IPL team now, any IPL team, is now the biggest trophy in world cricket. Much more important than the World Cup, much more important than any other competition. This IPL team or the ownership of an IPL team it has to be recognized as the biggest trophy or the greatest trophy in world cricket. Let us compare a little bit with other sports and you will understand. One of the most valued clubs in the world is Chelsea, was sold for 5.4 billion. AC Milan sold for 1.2 billion. When you are talking about a team which is being sold for 1.9 billion in a period of 18 years or 1.63 billion in a period of 18 years, when you know that an AC Milan has sold for a 1.2 billion, you realize how staggering the growth curve of the IPL is. It is unbelievable. It is absolutely unbelievable. Now let's kind of look back. I've tried to give you a lowdown of the valuation game that exists at this point. Going forward, chances are that in 5 years' time, the IPL brand value for teams will go up to 2 billion plus, 2.5 to 3 billion. Some can even go touch about say $3.5 to $4 billion. A team like a Mumbai Indians or a CSK or an RCB, teams that are already valued at close to $2 billion, each of these teams have the potential of touching $4 billion in a matter of 5, 6, 7 years. Absolutely staggering growth. Staggering growth is all I will say. Number 2 point. What the sale of RR and RCB shows that if you take a look at the bidders, you will see global consortiums, you will see Indian business, you will see HNIs, all of them coming together to own a share of the IPL pie. Now, there was another Poonawalla who was there. There was multiple people. The Manchester United family. You had last year you had Torrent by GT for 9,000, and we were like, wow, 9,000 crores. This year, Rajasthan Royals has gone for 15,100 crores, telling you the steep upside that you are seeing in IPL. The point that I was just making, that when I see this, when I see, you will see when capital funds, you will see companies, you will see Indian big business. You saw everybody. Aditya Birla invested in RCB. They were also originally interested in uh, RR. You have seen the kind of funds that have invested, a Blackstone or a David Blitzer, etc., etc. It is clearly a brand that is now robust, and it is a brand that is recession free. I want to first talk about two major things in the IPL. When Lalit Modi, what is the IPL? Have you asked yourself what is the IPL? The IPL is just an idea. When Lalit Modi first was trying to sell these IPL teams, he was trying to hard sell the IPL teams to Indian business houses. Now, what are you selling? When Lalit Modi was going to sell something, what is he selling? Is he selling a stadium? Is he selling land? Is he selling a club? Is he selling equipment? Is he selling what? Lalit Modi, and then credit to him and the BCCI at the early stages. When Lalit was selling the IPL to the team owners, what he had with himself was an idea. So, frankly, he was selling an idea. Once that idea got sold, that's when all of these things started to happen. What was originally just an idea is today 19 seasons, into its 19th season, and promises to be, again, with cricket at its core, extraordinary sport. The kind of cricket that you have seen in the IPL, the kind of glitz and glamour that you have seen in the IPL, if you combine what has made the IPL tick, I will argue is that it is an elite club which is closed, making the demand, much, much, much more than the supply quotient. Given that there are supply constraints and the BCCI cannot go beyond a certain number, The point of wanting to be a part of an IPL team is absolutely crazy. And because of that, the brand value has kept going up and up and up. And like I said, in a matter of 5 to 7, 8 years, it could even touch $4 billion for some of the teams. The second thing, let me take a few questions and I will come the second thing. Can IPL ever have a fan craziness like EPL? Of course. What fan craziness are we talking about, Sarvesh Gaurav? Have you seen the fan craziness for the Chennai Super Kings or the Royal Challengers Bangalore? People died. People died by wanting to see the craziness last year. Would you and I go? Would a rational person go? No. Fanatics will go. The trophy had been won, the parade was on. I mean, the bus was coming, you couldn't even see players, yet thousands and lakhs of people turned up. And EPL, what EPL? How many people are there in EPL stadiums, my friend? How many people? Do you know the EPL ratings? You should go and check the EPL ratings. Will not 20 times come close to the IPL. Secondly, when you take a look at some of the stadiums in the UK, what is the capacity? Have you taken a look at IPL stadium capacities in India? When I see a Whistle Express travel from Chennai to Pune or travel from Chennai to some other, come on. The kind of fan craziness that you have seen in the IPL is absolutely unrivaled and matches any league in the world. What the kind of madness that I've seen for Mahendra Singh Dhoni in Calcutta, the whole stadium went yellow. Whole stadium went yellow despite it being a match against the Kolkata Knight Riders, Sarvesh. So you have to understand that the IPL is massive and the fan connect is as big, if not deeper. Yes, not all teams, but a Mumbai Indians, a Chennai Super King, a Rajasthan, a Royal Challenger Bangalore, these three teams, or the Kolkata Knight Riders, the kind of fan base, no kidding, no kidding, boss. It is that level of intense fan base. Will PSL earn something from this year's? Maybe not, because when you are doing it closed doors, obviously sponsors are different. Sponsors will pay for broadcast because that's where your real dollar is, and it will depend on the quality of broadcast, how the messaging is being given to Pakistani public. But as far as making money is concerned, when you are not doing it, in front of people with full fanfare, etc., to expect that you will make much money, though gate sales are a very minuscule portion, but it appears improbable because when you show it on telly also, the visuals will not look the best and you can't make adjustments in 2 days or 3 days from now so that you have these cutouts in the stadium and all. I don't think that's going to happen. So overall, it is a blow for the PCB. It is definitely a blow for the PSL. But like we all know that it will continue behind closed doors because frankly, if you stop the tournament, then you could be in trouble. Fan madness concentrated only top teams, Eden Gardens, Amachola, RCB, আর সিএসকে fans বেশি থাকে, they need to do far more grassroots fan initiative. Grassroots fan initiative is happening. And EPL also. EPL also, I mean, is it the same kind of fan madness for all teams? No. Yes, when a Jamie Vardy wins it at King Power, you see a kind of madness, but is it the same for all teams all through the year? Absolutely not. The kind of fan madness that you are seeing in the top four IPL teams is to be believed. By the way, 45 degrees centigrade. English Premier League is played to beautiful weather, great, all of that. And here it's about 40, 45 degrees centigrade. With that level of humidity, you're still filling the stadiums. Unbelievable. This fandom is of a very different league and level. And by the way, I can't associate. If somebody goes and tells me, will you go to Eden Gardens and watch a game at 45 degrees? No. With this level of humidity and this level of heat, anyone can collapse. For fans to turn up, braving this and going and enjoying, pray. That's what makes the IPL what it is. It is absolutely mind blowing, is all I will say. Absolutely mind blowing as far as the IPL is concerned. It is brilliant. It is brilliant. Now, why does the IPL? Okay, let me take some questions and I'll come to that. Why are foreigners playing PSL? They are getting threats from terror organizations. Something happens, it is their call. It is happening behind closed doors. It is their call, entirely their call. If anybody feels comfortable, we are no one to say a word as to why the foreigners are playing. It is entirely their own call to go and play or not play. So that's the answer. Uh, it is being played behind closed doors, so they have eliminated quite a lot of risk. Obviously, there is the war issue. There's the possibility of terror attacks. There's the fuel. This thing. A lot of things have happened there. A lot of things have happened there, and we know. So you know one must keep that in mind. But as far as players are concerned, whether or not anyone plays or not plays is entirely a decision that has to be taken by them. You and I are no one, absolutely no one, to tell a player whether or not to play or not play. It is totally a personal call. Totally and totally a personal call. If somebody believes that he or she has the confidence, then no problem, no problem. You know, that's something that you must keep that in mind. As far as what are the other questions, না আমার কথা হচ্ছে ক্রিস্টাল প্যালেস স্টেডিয়ামে আমি তো এক্সপেক্ট করবো না লিভারপুল ফ্যান্স ভরিয়ে দেবে, আইপিএল হোম টিম মেজর মাইনরিটি হয়ে যাবে ভাই। একদম ঠিক কথা, at one level you will have home fans, but now I am seeing, you also have to understand that the EPL is a 100-year-old tournament. The IPL is a 18-year-old tournament, and two of the teams, Gujarat Titans and Lucknow Super Giants, are 4 years old. Despite Omorto them being 4 years old, they already have captive fan bases. Some of the other teams like a Chennai or an RCB or a Mumbai or a Kolkata have dedicated fan bases which are very strong. So when you are comparing it with a legacy tournament of 100 years, and then you see this kind of staggering growth, even as far as Fan Connect is concerned, you tend to know where this brand is. It is unbelievable. That's what it is. So end zone, I've answered yours. Omorto, I've answered yours. Komal, don't you think BCCI should introduce a gold maroon cap for the best fielder? Fielding is what? Good point. Very good point. Very good point. I mean, in T20 cricket, fielding does win you matches. In T20 cricket, fielding is absolutely, an essential ingredient which can change the course of a game for any team. Take a look at that Akshar Patel catch of Will Jacks, the rebound, or that catch of Harry Brook, and you will know that India would not have made the World Cup final had those two catches not been taken. I am entirely in agreement with Komal that perhaps a gold maroon cap for the best fielder should also be instituted. It will be subjective. I'm conscious of that it is no, it's not relevant directly, or not directly kind of you can equate that, okay, I've scored 300 runs, I've scored 600 runs, I've taken 20 wickets. It will become subjective, and in the eyes of people who have watched that particular game, not everyone will watch every game, but it's a very good idea. If somehow one can keep a tab on how people have fielded, then certainly it's an idea that is worth exploring. The WACA has rated IPL, the WCA, sorry, IPL third after 100 and SA T20. Why? The IPL third after 100 and SA T20. Whoever has done it is an absolute idiot. That's what he or she is. Who is WCA? How does it even matter? I mean, if somebody rates 100 and SA T20 above the IPL, it's like an, it's delusional. Let's put it that way. It's absolutely delusional. Will an SA T20 or whatever other leagues, Big Bash or anything, even come remotely close to the IPL, Dr. Devopriyo? You and I both know that it is total nonsense. I've motamuti answered. Okay, I've taken the Odisha, MP, Chhattisgarh, Assam, Bihar, Ranchi, etc. are yet to be represented. Potential to grow further. State-wise, you can take games. Team-wise, you can't. I think we have reached a saturation point as far as the number of teams are concerned. The number of games can go up to 94, so you can spread it around. You can have catchment areas, you can have 2 games here, you can have 2 games there. That way you can spread it around, but I don't envisage IPL going more than that because the window is fixed. Also, what I don't think is the BCCI or anybody for that matter will want to make it unwieldy. So to extend your logic and say, okay, it has more potential because these states are immune, so there can be more teams and it can spread. I don't think is the case. I honestly don't think is the case. It's a unique case where performance of a team is irrelevant. Growth primarily depends on the broadcaster. No, no. I mean, Mumbai Indians, Chennai Super Kings, where, there are teams everywhere where it is not dependent on performance. Take the case of the Chicago Cubs. Between 1908 and 2016, you tell me how many titles, Major League Baseball titles, did the Chicago Cubs win? Not even one. One just about some years back. But all this time, in all this time, the brand value of the Chicago Cubs or the support base of the Chicago Cubs, if you go to Wrigley Field and if you have seen Wrigley Field, you will know what I'm talking about, has enormously increased. Uh, Whoever asked that question. So, Omortho, CVC Capital owners did the same, got a good exit. Now Torrent is the majority for Gujarat Titans, booked a good money. 100%. 100%. I mean, 9,000 crores, if it becomes 18,000 crores in a matter of, say, 5, 6 years, can you imagine the kind of returns? Unbelievable. Unbelievable. NFL owners entering into IPL is the best thing can happen for Indian cricket. They know how to run teams properly. I do think that Indian owners have run teams extremely effectively, Devopriyo. I don't see them not running teams well at, sorry, Omar. As well as we all know, Nareen is way past his magical prime. Every analyst will cut open the mystery and get his. Yeah, I actually agree with you. I agree with you that Sunil Narayan is past his prime. I agree with you that Sunil Narayan is past his prime and that this will become a problem for KKR because if Varun Chakravarti has been decoded and if Sunil Narayan has also, kind of moved forward a little bit past his prime, then where does KKR spin strength go from there? Whether the RCB owners have experienced sporting league? Yes. I mean, Satyan launched the Major League Cricket. Uh, Aditya Birla Group, they know how to run business. Satyan has enormous experience of in the sporting domain. Was part of the US cricket setup for a fairly longish time. You know, the David Blitzer Group, they have experience of the 100 as well. So 100%. I mean, and look at the kind of business pedigree there. Look at the kind of business pedigree. The Birlas, Times of India, these are real big houses in India, and there's no debate. There is no debate that we are talking about serious business pedigree as far as the IPL is concerned. Let me take some of the other ones. My top four is impossible to predict. I've done a show called Inside the Dugout. You can go and check that. You can go and check that where I've tried to give you some predictions, but it is almost impossible to give you predictions. I mean, because how does one give predictions like this? The Because T20 cricket inevitably has this risk about associated with, okay, can this be done, can that be done, kind of thing. Uh, my top four, I will give you my top four, but I can also tell you that there is 99% chance that it will be wrong. Mumbai Indians is one team I think is looking extremely good on paper. The kind of balance that they don't have that level of injuries. They have not been impacted that badly by injuries. So Mumbai Indians. Punjab Kings is again a team that I think is a strong and solid side. Uh, I think if Lucknow Super Giants plays to potential with their Indian bowlers yesterday, I got confirmation that all of them are fit except the spin department with Digvesh and Shabazz. It's a good side. Chennai has been impacted by injury. Nathan Ellis is a big blow. Kolkata has been severely dented by injury. Delhi Capitals is a very good side. So, Rajasthan Royals also. Among these five, Mumbai, Rajasthan, Kings Punjab, Lucknow Super Giants, and Delhi Capitals, I think four will make the playoffs. Four will make the playoffs. Hyderabad Sunrisers. Out of the six, four will make the playoffs. I'm not giving Kolkata, Chennai, and only because of the fact of the injuries. Because if you take a look at some of the injuries, those injuries are irreplaceable. Same for Bangalore. If Josh Hazelwood doesn't play, I don't see Bengaluru Royal Challengers being able to defend the title. I've answered the top four. My father will watch IPL only for Vaibhav Suryavanshi. Ayush Matre tells a lot about the league. 100% Namarto. 100%. I mean, people like Vaibhav, people like Ayush, they are putting bums on seats. They are putting, a show out there. And your father, people of that generation, people of our generation as well, people want to see and consume these people. And that's Vaibhav Suryavanshi, who's just what, 14, 15 years old. This extraordinary stuff. Extraordinary stuff as far as India is concerned. So make no mistake, this is a one heck of a league. Now my final 2 points. I mean, I need to quickly answer because I want to make two more points here on the show. Find biggest value of team in IPL because CSK is not going to be sold. We will never know. No, Bhavik, the value can be known. I mean, the value will go to about 4 billion or close to $4.5 billion. Now that in some 25 years is staggering rate of returns, absolutely staggering rate of returns. And you can do the valuation. So what if you are not selling? You can still do the valuation. Two final points before I end the show in 3 to 4 minutes. One of the reasons that IPL works, one of the reasons that IPL works is that there is no risk involved. The World Cup is the World Cup with an India Pakistan. You have seen the kind of pressure that the ICC was under to make sure that India Pakistan did happen. In the IPL, there are at least 20 games that are as big as India Pakistan. Chennai versus Mumbai, Mumbai versus RCB, RCB versus Chennai, Mumbai versus Kolkata. These are as big a blockbuster as anything for that matter exists in the cricket world. They are as big as an India Pakistan game. A Mumbai versus RCB, for example, is as big as a World Cup India versus Pakistan game. It is that big. Now, when you are talking about 20 such games in a season, imagine the brand value of that tournament. That's massive. Secondly, earlier what used to happen was you and I would, the consumer, and there was one feed, the English feed, which we would consume. Now, so one feed, many consumers was the practice some years back. Now, what has happened is many fields, language, this, digital, so camera focused on a particular player, many fields, one consumer. So the choice element has increased hugely as far as the IPL is concerned. So, and this is where I think we are still touching the tip of the iceberg. And over a period of time, the choice element will explode as far as the IPL is concerned. And that's where the valuation game will be played. Finally, with the IPL, why do you think there are these 20 India Pakistan type of contests? One of the reasons is that the IPL, every night India wins. Whatever, whoever wins in a World Cup, suppose West Indies had actually beaten South Africa in that pool game, India was out of the World Cup. Now, the moment India would have been out of the World Cup, the brand value of the World Cup would have nosedived like anything else. All of us would have shunned, and the entire World Cup would have been labeled a catastrophe. Here in the IPL, what happens is whether it's Dhoni winning, Kohli winning, Rahul winning, Rishabh Pant winning, Hardik Pandya winning, India wins. So IPL is all about this incredibly unique Indian property, which is recession proof. It is an elite club of owners with India's biggest business houses vying for honors. So everyone will want a share of that IPL. Want a share of that IPL. That's why we are where we are. I will delve more into this tomorrow. I've got a sponsor meeting to do now. I hope you've understood where I was going. 1.63 billion, 1.9 billion, these are staggering valuations. 24 times, 26 times growth is incredible. And one of the reasons is what I explained to you. It's fabulous, fabulous stuff. The story of the IPL is a unique Indian growth story that ought to be celebrated. I will do more tomorrow. For the moment, that's all I have. I've taken some questions as well. Thank you very much.